On this episode of FUMO, we have with us in the studio today Mr. Namir Khan. As the chairman of the MENA Fintech Association, he's going to share with us personal insights onto how he built the association, his challenges, what motivated him. Along the way, we'll also talk about some very important topics when it comes to the fundamental building blocks of fintech and founders in the region. What qualities do people seek? What have we seen as trends that are coming up in the industry over the years to come? As usual, we dive in deep with my partner in podcast crime, Mr. Ronit Ghosh, and my friend Namir Khan. A big shout out to our sponsors, Aquanow and XVC, and a mention to our community partners, the MENA Fintech Association, and of course, CFTE.
Namir, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Namir Khan, chairman of the MENA Fintech Association, founder of Phil's Sustainability Podcast, and what else is in your distinguished CV, Namir?
On the board of a university.
Oh, Professor Khan.
It is Professor Khan.
Professor Khan.
It is, yeah. You joke, but
I don't joke about these things.
social sciences, is that right?
Social sciences.
So you're teaching the kids the future of fintech, or
Honorary professor.
honorary?
Yes.
The honorable.
In which university? You have to tell
It's
us.
Edinburgh Business School.
Awesome. The honorary Professor Khan. So MENA Fintech Association.
Yes.
Why does the region need a fintech association? What is fintech in this region?
So why does the region need the association takes me back to the initial starting days. There was a gap, clear gap. Innovation was happening. Regulators were trying to innovate and wanting to innovate,
Yeah.
but there was no platform for them to be together and to have a conversation on the same table. That was massively missing.
Right.
That was the first gap. Second was that if you're trying to build an industry, which today is one of the fastest growing industries, and fintech in this region is surpassing growth rates of fintech in other markets, it is primarily because of the opportunity over here. Number two is that if the regulators would want to establish an ecosystem or industry needs to mature, it has many other components to it, Ronit. Components such as not just regulation, academia, do you have enough talent that is going to be there to feed the growth of the industry? Third is going to be in terms of, is there a platform where these innovators can come together and share their thoughts and insights? Like today, all of us are doing it today. Fast forward, if you look at it, that's what we're doing. And yeah, I mean, you had to get this neutral platform that gives equal opportunity to every single player in this industry. And that was the intention. And that's what we did.
And fintech in the region, tell us more about that. What are the key drivers? How is it different? You said it's growing faster than in other parts of the world. Tell us more about that.
So my perspective is we have seen the growth of this industry from the past 8 years to where it is today. You have seen this region leapfrogging.
Yeah.
Leapfrogging in terms of number one, pace. Leapfrogging in terms of regulations, which came later on in the stage, right? Fintech in the region, why has it been successful? The adoption. And adoption is again on multiple facets. It's like a layer. First layer is regulators understanding the opportunity. That's one. Second is consumers demanding that. Because you cannot change that. The common thread between all the consumers all over the world remains the same. Gen Zs, or the alphas, or the millennials, or the boomers, everyone has a certain way of operating. There may be cultural nuances that may be there, but the base foundational requirements remain the same. So that was changing. So requirement for ease, access, convenience, transparency, affordability, and being able to have delightful experiences across different verticals, thanks to the lights of the Kareems of the world, or the Ubers of the world, or the Booking.com, the Airbnbs. We had that, revolution of these technology companies that changed our perception of convenience. And that leads us again to the same conversation that we all have had multiple times, that experience is fluid. Experience of one industry leads to the other industry. And financial services is one of the most, I would say, the most frequently used sectors in our daily lives.
It's a cornerstone.
Right.
Daily life.
So adoption was there. And when there's adoption and when there's regulatory intent, who's in the middle? The enablers. Right? So if the enablers who are in the ecosystem don't, then there will be newer players who will come and enable. And that's what happened. But fast forward, when we started in the region, the quality of fintechs, if you look back, 8 years ago, quality of fintechs, quality of ideas was quite nascent. And quality of founders as well was not that experienced versus what we have had later on.
Yeah.
So the founder quality significantly increased. And significantly increased in the past, I would say, 5 years. And thanks to many of our amazing founders today that have made names across the globe.
Let's double click on that.
Yeah.
Founders getting better, founders coming up with better ideas, and then this region becoming not just a Me Too or a catch-up play.
Yeah.
And Gaurav, you were there from the start. So let's double click on that, Gaurav. Founders getting better, ideas getting better, the region not just being a catch-up play or a Me Too play or some kind of old fading Xerox copy of the original. You were there at the start when Namir was building MFTA, and even before then.
Yep, that's
as
right.
a third generation founder, or what do you call yourself? Second generation, founder.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's very accurate. It's very interesting to see what was pre MFTA and what was post MFTA, if I can call it that. The MENA
So what was
Fintech Association.
what was fintech founder
was-
life like 8 years ago?
It was
9 years ago.
it
when
was
I first moved to
longer
Dubai.
than that. Longer than that, right? If you look at it, the ecosystem had massive data gaps. There was no one connecting the dots for what was happening in regulation. There was no one connecting the dots for company setups. It was all operating in silos, right?
Yeah.
And so if someone wanted to attempt understanding from an investment perspective, where should I set up? Should I set up in the UAE? Should I set up in Bahrain? Should I set up in Dubai, Abu Dhabi? The nuances of understanding what was beneficial, why they should do it, population, consensus, household income, licenses. You had to go out and sort of get access to that information. And sometimes that information wasn't readily available unless you had localized sources to guide you. So it wasn't obvious. Today, it's almost democratized. That information is available to everyone because of the MFTA, not only because of the working groups it does, but also because of the people and sessions.
So the
it was
MFTA is sharing ideas, sharing data, sharing information.
navigation. How do you navigate the ecosystem being in the ecosystem, because it's has so much depth now, and how do you understand how to make an entry into the ecosystem if you're looking from the outside in? And I think that's the biggest thing also that the MFTA has done to complement the B2C story that Namir was talking about is the B2B angle too.
The founders getting better. Let's talk about that, Namir and Gaurav. Without, we're not going to turn anyone, but
I don't think we ever do.
no, but we're all far too nice. But what do we mean by the founders getting better? Like,
I mean,
are
I
there
have,
like
I have my perspectives, but Namir has his too.
Go for it.
So, I mean, the quality of founders, and again, Namir touched on this, is I think experience has everything to do with that.
right?
Pre 2012, 14, 15, when Dubai launched something called the Dubai Futures Accelerator or the Future Foundation, which was done out of the Prime Minister's office in Emirates Towers.
Remember, yeah.
Before that, there was very little visibility and education about alternative investing strategies in the region outside of PE. And also VC all the money was going outside the ecosystem.
Sure.
It wasn't going inside.
It's going to the US or
So they were trying to spark disruption.
2014.
Right. They were trying to create a platform to allow people to spark disruption on which you actually got. Uber actually was part of the accelerator program, by the way, in the Emirates Towers program. You had people coming in to try and do things. And it was that experience and knowledge and encouragement that was done through these programs that allowed people to actually look at business differently. Because otherwise, everyone looked at business as I have to make a profit within 6 months or 8 months, or if I can't do that, there's no business plan. And that's typically not a venture capital disruptive business approach.
Right.
And I know that personally from my experience because of how I took my family business from a family business organization to a structured organization that has done an exit and hopefully will do another exit, because
Sure.
the difference is so big between what happens
And of
here
course,
there in
you've
San
also,
Francisco as well.
Gaurav, seen a lot of these businesses as you've invested in them, right, Namir? What do we call
600.
Gaurav?
Plus, yeah.
600 plus investors, right?
600 plus.
So
Great
you've
marketing,
seen a lot of these investors.
I would just like to add
yeah.
this, like when it comes to the founder,
Yeah.
So on the founder quality piece, right?
Evolution.
As Gaurav mentioned, experience is something that was built in the region, and we learned. This region is known to learn fast, and I think it's integrated into our DNA, right?
It is.
Or if you are coming into the region, you get this integrated into your DNA the moment you enter, because things are so fast, and of course you get so much exposure over here. So I believe that the exposure that the founders have received, and a lot to do with the regulations, of course, that have matured over here, simultaneously smaller and bigger initiatives, which includes these accelerators that we have had. We had boom of accelerators as well in our region, right? Not anymore.
No, and,
Yeah.
and a waxing and a
Yes,
waning, both.
yes.
Yeah, both.
We saw many failures as well.
Sure, inevitable. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw many failures in the region. And if you pick up the ideas that were there before versus what we have today, before, as Gaurav mentioned, you would have Me Too propositions today. And Me Too propositions, second, we had this mindset back in the days, only a few had this approach of tweaking or slightly, making the model in tune or in sync with the region. Very few. And those who did are successful. Those who replicated the models, what we had in the West or in the Far East, and do the same thing over here, it never really worked out. Today, we have platforms, like different platforms that are being built, different fintechs that are emerging, that are fully homegrown in the Middle East or in the UAE, and they are setting new standards in terms of new products that may not be have built somewhere in the West or in the Far East or even in Europe. So innovation was previously, I would say, to a certain extent, imported, but now innovation is homegrown.
And also exported out, right?
Yep.
I mean, from the UAE to Saudi to other parts of the region, we have companies now that friends, members, fellow MFTA leaders have built here in the UAE, out of Abu Dhabi and Dubai, that operate in the kingdom, in Saudi Arabia, in Turkey, around the world. Should we, without giving people free PR, should we mention one or two names here of people that, or companies we look at and go, God, that's a really good case study? Built out of the UAE.
I mean, do we want to talk about obvious ones or non-obvious ones?
How about one of each? Could you come up with one each, like
obvious-
one obvious one and
Fuse,
one non-obvious
definitely.
one?
The most obvious is Tabby right now.
Yeah, Tabby.
Tabby is the most obvious.
And you know them?
Was one of the first investors in them, luckily.
Haven't you heard that story before, Ronit? I'm surprised.
Hassan was
How many
very
podcasts have you done with Gaurav? Yeah, and you don't know this information.
Hossam was very sweet to let me.
Yes.
One has to keep repeating, right? Someone said that I have to keep
So
repeating.
Hossam
Yeah.
is
Hang
an
on,
obvious.
you were an angel investor in Tabby.
Yes, I've exited already.
You've exited.
I've exited already, but
Yeah.
but I was one of the first early ones. Yes, yes.
So tell us about the obvious one and
He-
what was great about this company.
He was obvious because he's one of the only investors at that time that actually had an exit prior to starting his second company. And he was a
was his second.
successful exit the first time.
Namshi, right?
Namshi, correct.
And he had a partner with a track record as well, right? The co-founder.
Oh, you mean about Tabby?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. His infrastructure team and everything
Yeah.
else that's not built here
Yeah.
is built back home.
Yeah.
But effectively, you have a founder that's built a company, successfully exited, has understood a data point where he's created those data sets by setting up a new ecosystem himself in the e-commerce space, which didn't exist. So he's there at the beginning, scaled it, identified the next set of problems to solve when it was going to scale even further, and monopolized it. and he took inspiration of other things that were already there as data sets. So he knew how to build a business, he knew how to build a team, he knew how to talk to investors, and he knew how to scale it to an exit. So he knew what to avoid to make it even bigger and better than last time.
Yeah.
And he doubled down on a sector that he was confident was going to grow. So he had access to data. It was hard not to throw money at him. And because honestly, there's nobody else there. It's like, just take my money. Absolutely. Because you have to look at it. How many other people had
But
successful exits?
We've got to give credit to another founder, is Mark Javan.
Sarwa.
I've seen Mark during the DIFC Innovation Hive days.
Yeah.
One corner table, I still remember, by the window, him and his team would be there.
Jeff Bezos style, huh?
And so happy to see how he relentlessly continued with his vision. That's a marathon runner there when it comes to entrepreneurs.
And you need that. You need that.
What kind of data are we talking about? You said you see.
2018, I remember
In the IFC.
seeing Mark in when he was building the initial days of Serva.
Right.
That's a marathon.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant success story. And I think out of all the fintech that I've seen today that have come have received early success, Mark is a great example of resilience. Perfect example of resilience and how things are done in the region.
And
Hats
Sarwa
off.
worked. Why? What was special about it? Again, to the people who are not in the
I think
region.
they pivoted their models. They stayed low key for a while. They continued on customer acquisition.
Yeah.
I've seen fintechs in the wealth space raising heaps of money,
Sure.
same time spending it in the same way, running out of cash soon. I resonate with Mark, staying low key and building the business.
Yeah. Getting shit done.
Yes, and that has been
Yeah.
a bit rare in this part of the world. And I don't know, Gaurav, if you agree with me on this, but
I sadly missed out on investing in Sarwa just
But
because
no,
I was busy with work. And I thought it was a great business.
agreeing
to look
with
at.
the fact that
Yeah.
And the team was very good.
agreeing with the fact about staying low key and building the business first.
Oh, you got to. Namir, you can't. You
Walking
can't
the
do-
walk.
But if
you
you
really
see,
have to execute.
but if you see at the same time,
Absolutely.
when the time was right, today you see them all over on different billboards.
Yeah.
When the time was right. Perfect example.
Oh, I remember. Speaking of no-name companies,
Yeah.
I remember there was a company that actually went out and said that me and a friend had invested on them. And when people called me up for reference checks, they said, "How much did you invest?" And I said, "Can you just tell me which company you're talking about?" And they go, "XYZ." And I go, I've passed on them. And they go, "Oh, really? Because your friend XYZ has put money in it." And I said, "No, they haven't as well, because I know it, because we just spoke about it last night." And it was quite funny and funny. You talk about people who are
Yeah.
trying to rally this. And I saw them do
Yeah.
billboards and advertising before they had even a product or service to do and things like that. And I can't see them anywhere anymore.
So those are two obvious
Yeah.
ones in air quotes now, because we all know about Sarwa.
Oh, yeah.
And we know about Tabby for good reason.
Yeah.
In sort of wealth advisory or BNPL,
Can I
consumer
add one more
credit,
thing?
they've been category killers.
I
in the
want to add
region.
one more
Yeah.
thing.
Go on.
Another reason why I call this marathon is, if you look at it, the entire fintech ecosystem,
Yeah.
different verticals. So we had wealth running at a slow pace, growing at a slow pace, right? You had payments rapidly sprinting, right? Then you had blockchain that came in late, but again sprinted. Wealth's time is now. In the past, probably the past couple of years, and now moving forward, I see
Right.
wealth and lending as one of the biggest plays.
Credit is going to
And
be the...
the important thing is resilience and sticking to your business and to your vision. As a founder, you got to see that.
Yeah, the credit sector is going to be the one that's going to...
Yeah.
So let's maybe about credit or other areas. Let's talk about non-obvious. Non-obvious,
I like
because
Non-obvious
Tabby-
fintechs that made it big.
I mean, I've definitely got one or two I know
or
about.
may not have, either they've made it big and people don't talk about them, or
Oh, there's one
they're
that's...
under the surface, but you think they're going to make it big.
Oh, there's one
And
that's super obvious.
so, and one that you don't run, okay?
Yeah, I mean, one that's super...
One you're not CEO of, Gaurav.
One that's super obvious. And again, I missed out on investing on,
Go on.
at a pivotal stage is what is now called MTN Hala.
MTN Hala.
Yeah, I mean, I
Maher
remember.
and the gang.
My God, I remember I got a call from a friend in Washington and said, and it was just called Hala then, right? Obviously.
Sure.
And he goes, you got to
Out of Egypt.
Yeah, this person's doing three-wheelers, lending, everything else, all the rest of it. And I said, what are you talking about? And he goes, no. They're doing very well. They've scaled a product, they've scaled a service, they've done data, they've not done this. And when I spoke to him, it was at the end of a critical restructuring round of financing. And I had very little time as an individual, not as a person who had 20 analysts and people behind him, as a VC, a team, or a PE. And he's like, I unfortunately, I've got this X ticket left, do it or close. And the next time I saw him, didn't hear about him in the press, didn't hear about anything else, forgot about him completely. He raised at something like a $400 or $500 million valuation, and in no time.
And their operations are.
And now he's even bigger than that.
Where are they based? Where are they operating? Egypt's core, and do they operate elsewhere or mainly Egypt?
I believe parts of Africa, but mainly out of Egypt. And Egypt has got a bad rap because of a lot of things. People have had bad experiences in Egypt, but it's not obvious. But he's gone quiet again. You don't hear about MTN Hala, but I promise you, it's not obvious. He's on a mission.
So why do you? So what makes MTN Hala or the founders stand out? Like, what's the secret sauce? What's special about them? Because
one part is what he talked about.
You and I have invested in a few Egyptian startups that didn't do so well.
I mean, I acquired a company in Egypt that's still doing very well. Touch wood.
But
it's what Namir talked about, Marathon. He's in it for the long run. He's sitting out there. He's based out there. He's focused, singular about the business. He's not doing anything else. And same like, what you look at Hossam, he's stubborn, but in a validated manner. He's not.
That's going to be a good snippet.
He's not got a...
Should we just repeat that? Did Gaurav say, air quotes, Hossam is stubborn?
I just heard that.
But I just heard that too.
Yeah, but validated. Absolutely.
No, I just heard Hossam is stubborn.
You can say that. And you know what? He'll probably turn around and go, yeah, so what? Exactly. What are you guys going to do about it? I got a 3.5 billion plus company. He's like, So absolutely, the
you couldn't believe in your ... to make it work, right? Because otherwise
you have to believe in it so much that your conviction is
to go from 0 to 3 billion. It's not going to happen.
And what, 6 years?
Yeah.
6 years? I think he did. He's done it faster than Kareem,
and it's kind of almost like BNPL. I have to think about the region.
IPO, by the way, and IPO. Sorry, just to be clear, to do an IPO, the amount of work you have to do an IPO is barbaric. It's not like you just call up Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan or whatever and just say, hey, I'm doing an IPO, roll in your team, take a fee and do it. There is so much work to do. And for him to do it the way he's done it, you have to have conviction.
BNPL is one of those areas. So Tabby is obviously a BNPL play. BNPL is one of those areas where it started in Australia or in Sweden.
Australia, from what I remember, Zip was one of the first ones, right?
There were a few. There were several of these Australian ones. Yeah,
you're right. Quite a lot.
Back in Australia, that kind of fizzled out. In fact, spectacularly in some of the listed companies. They've lost nearly all their value. And then the ones in Europe and the US, which are bigger now, but still controversial. Here in the region, it seems to have hit a nerve, in a positive way, as in there's a demand for credit in Saudi. Saudi didn't have much. Dubai has a lot of consumer credit. Saudi didn't have credit cards.
Still this gap.
Still a big gap.
Massive gap.
Massive. That's
right. In UAE as well.
I thought there was too much credit for consumers in the UAE. Everyone's on Dubai.
Consumer. So you're looking at retail.
Contextual.
We're looking at from the retail perspective here.
Yeah.
The biggest contributor to any economy, especially the regional economy, is SME. SME lending, SME banks are the next unicorns.
So who's doing interesting things there? Namir and Gaurav, SME.
I mean, I know, of course, an obvious one. Abhi has been doing.
Credible X
is there.
eFunder is another one.
Can we really give more,
and we've been discussing something as well.
So more free PR to Abhi? We've had
Yeah.
Omer on a few times.
No,
Yes.
no. Omer is on
Sorry,
his way.
Omer.
He
We've-
acquired a bank. He's okay.
He's good,
We
right?
don't need to give him PR.
We need to give him more PR.
I
No.
love you, bro, but enough. Yeah,
Enough.
that's enough. But, and then in Saudi Arabia,
Another quotable quote from Gaurav there. Omer, I love you, bro.
Enough.
This episode's gonna be cooking.
And then Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia, right?
Who else?
Lending startup for SMEs that just raised $650 or $675 million just now recently.
Really?
So
Lend.aio.
Okay.
if you hear
Sorry.
some of my
Yeah,
interviews
lending.
before as well,
Yeah,
I've categorically mentioned that lending
yeah.
Credit.
and SME
Yeah.
is going to be the next area where you will see unicorns.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And we're
true.
gonna do
Massive opportunity. Why?
Tell me.
You pick up
SME
any
lending
market.
you're talking about
We pick
now.
up any market. So you got to pick up the trends.
Yeah.
That's what we do, right? Trend rating and trend analysis in different parts of the world.
Data.
What has happened in Europe? What has happened in Far East? What has
Yeah.
happened in North America?
India,
pick up,
Pakistan, right
pick
there.
up any market.
Right there.
Pick up any market. And from those markets, you would see it starts from retail. These are all the reports that we have seen as well. You know, the consultant friends and the reports. It would start with retail. Banking would get disrupted, unboxed. And then after that, after retail, you look at corporate banking. We had the lights. We have the rising banks like Vio, Almaria, Ruya, and many other ones that are coming. Again, the focus on they started with transactions.
And we has
and
been
then what
such
happened?
a success, right?
Right.
And then what
Massive-
happened after
massive
that?
success.
Lending.
Yeah.
It's always lending.
Yeah.
And lending is the area where you make significant amount of real revenue.
Yep.
You don't just burn cash; you make revenue.
There was a monopoly on data prior. That monopoly doesn't exist anymore on it. And I think just going back to BNPL worked here so well. And by the way, there was BNPL products that were offered by banks prior. It was called EPP, electronic payment program.
Okay.
So you could go into a shop.
Yeah.
You could buy something from Emax or Sharaf DG or one of the retailers, and you could, at the time of saying, "Can I defer my payment for 3 months without interest, please?" And you could actually do it off your phone as well. You could actually retroactively with Emirates NBD and their first product, their first digital bank called Live.
Oh.
You could retroactively go into your card
Live.
spend
Yeah.
and say, "You know what? I actually don't want to pay for this now.
Yeah.
I want to pay for it in 4 months at 0% interest." So these products were out. The reason it worked with Hossam is because he did a double-sided market service. He looked after the consumer and married it to the merchant. So what he did is he created that ecosystem for them to meet,
Yeah.
to understand who wanted what they were willing to pay for it outside of a normal purchase. But the banks were offering the product, but they were not offering the service.
Yeah.
And that is where a lot of Tabby's revenues, I actually can't tell you about that, sorry, but because I might be stepping, but there's other revenue streams in Tabby just from what you're seeing as a one-dimensional, obvious buy now,
I'll
pay
pick your
later.
point. Revenue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Revenue. Revenue is something that is quite overlooked
Yeah.
when we are building. Burn is something we give more attention to.
Yep.
And we have heard this conversation many times with the VCs. Oh, what are you burning? The conversation of revenue came up maybe last year, early last year.
COVID.
Yeah. That,
COVID.
okay, let's focus more on revenue. That was the conversation.
And then profitability.
And then profitability
and then
came up.
profitability suddenly came back into the room.
But are fintechs still achieving it? And one, two, if they are not yet achieving it still, the question remains, do they understand the road to profitability?
Well, I can tell you that it's there's a hangover from the previous sets of investments, and then obviously there's a non-starter program that's being done by VCs with new funds on exactly this. So any new funds that have come up are basically saying, "Oh, you build for profitability and revenue," as opposed to just.
And I've seen
learning.
change of interest when it's just not on B2C. Now it's more focused on B2B because that's where the real money is as well, right? Not just B2C. B2C is the acquisition.
Expensive.
It's expensive. You're too exposed as a platform. whereas B2B is where we have realized, at least from my experience, what I've seen in with different fintechs, they've realized that B2B is the way to go, B2B2C is the way to go.
Yeah, it is. B2B to C is definitely the way to go.
Any final names you want to throw out in terms of fintechs that are not obvious, flying under the radar? You want to call out? As
But are we talking about fintechs born in the region?
born in the region or have moved to the region when young? Not something coming out of Singapore or India. Actually, the founder is living here. Or the founder started here.
you're trending a fine line here now, because if I start mentioning names and I don't mention other names, I'm going to get into some serious.
You've already mentioned
trouble.
3-4 names.
You've already called one of the region's best founders stubborn.
Yeah.
And one of our friends we've called out as not needing more PR. So
That's true.
no,
Yeah.
we're on a roll here, Gara.
I think so.
Like
this is the
towards
Troublemakers
this
podcast.
This is the end of season podcast, isn't it? It literally is the end of season
grand
podcast.
finale. Go
Before
out
we
with a
go
bang.
before we fly out from Dubai.
Well, all
so
three of us are flying out.
we're
yeah.
all flying
yes,
out the
we
next
are.
couple of days.
Where are you going?
By the time this podcast is out,
We'll be out of
I'll be in. I'll either be
Bora
in.
Bora.
I'll probably be in somewhere in the Austrian Alps or
I'll be there.
maybe in the
nearby.
Baltics.
Oh,
I
I'll
don't
be
know.
nearby as well.
Somewhere
Okay,
fresh
nearby.
air. Somewhere in fresh air.
All right, let's get back.
So let's get back on track. So
Yeah.
let's
Down from the mountains.
Yeah.
bound for the mountains. The
Yeah.
Yeah.
sound of
Who else-
fintech.
Who else,
Not the
from
sound
a
of
fintech
music.
perspective?
Who else
is,
should we give a shout out to as these guys are doing really
There
interesting
are
work.
so many good people
many of
doing good
Yeah.
things. I mean, it's tough to just pick.
Pick one of your
One.
kids, Namir. Choose one of your
Okay.
children. Here we go.
I think
I'll pick one
when
after
it
you,
comes to a second-time founder friend, who's done really well.
I agree.
Aziz. Pluto.
He is resilient.
He is. I love him.
Resilient.
Great guy. Okay, I love you, bro. Aziz, you're doing a fantastic job.
Here we
So
go.
what's so good about Pluto?
I think first,
It's not
forget
even a
about
planet
Pluto.
anymore, is it?
No.
No, it's been kicked
Forget
out of the
about
solar
Pluto.
system. but
Pluto
go on.
for a Pluto. Forget about Pluto for a moment.
Just
It's
him.
Aziz,
Aziz.
him.
founder quality.
Okay.
Now this,
Resilient.
Yeah, tell us about Aziz.
he's gone through a lot.
Who he?
Aziz.
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 Muhammad Aziz.
He has gone through a lot.
Okay.
You all have known what he has gone through. And if I have a reason, I mean, if many people say that I, vouch for Aziz a lot, he's gone through a lot. That's why.
Right.
I mean, he has the guts
Right.
to go out and do things that many would have not done. Today, Open Finance has many things we have done today. It's a big claim, huh?
It's a big claim.
Yeah.
But
Open Finance, he had at that time spoken on behalf of the industry on levels which had costed him.
Yep.
and by the way,
Yeah.
the only people from abroad
Yeah.
recognized him as the only open finance,
Yeah.
open AI authority
Yeah.
in the Middle East region. So people from Plaid and other people
Yeah.
connected with him on a personal basis.
So
by the way,
Yeah.
the thing is, what's really fascinating
Yeah.
about this young man is
Yeah.
the energy and how fast he thinks. He pivots quite fast.
Right.
That's what I like about him. I remember when he was building Pluto,
Move fast.
he moved really fast,
Yeah.
right? And I love his energy. I genuinely learned from this boy as well, because he's always willing to teach you. So I think the when I say founder quality has
Yeah.
improved, it is successes
Yeah.
and exposure
Mm-hmm.
and resilience. So if you're a founder, I'm a founder myself as well,
Yep.
right? And I have my way of operating, right? And every founder
You're
has its
a-
own way of operating.
You're a multi-founder, right? I mean, effectively founded MFTA, founded Phil's. Why am I being nice to him?
I have absolutely no idea.
Should we go back to being mean?
Yes,
Yeah, let's
Please
yeah.
do that. But
Anyway,
but
multi-founder.
the founder quality that is really important, maybe in the West as well, maybe in the Far East, but here in the region, what we were discussing.
Yeah.
Founder quality is that you need to have that steel of spine. You got to be able to do that.
Steel or spine?
And
Or spine or steel?
A spine of steel is also.
yeah, correct.
That would
Spine
would
of
work as
steel.
well.
There
Spine
you
of
go.
that would work.
Yeah.
Steel or spine, I'm not sure, but
Well,
Spine of steel. You got it right.
Coming
yeah,
out. There you
spine
go.
or steel.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And then second is, you got to have that strong grit. And that's what this gentleman has. And I think all these founders who are operating here in the market, they need to have that. It's critical.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even I need to have it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would not be able to sustain myself.
Sure.
I think there's only one other founder that comes to mind that's actually worth mentioning in this sort of category, is a company I don't think many people have heard about,
Okay, go on.
but a woman founder based in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has actually gone and built a global business quietly. And her customers range from people like Coca-Cola to
Yeah.
some of the biggest telcos in the world. And it's a company called Merit.
Okay.
And I discovered Merit through my network and a few good
What
friends.
does Merit do?
Merit is an enterprise level loyalty platform. And normally,
Is this the French lady?
Yes, normally, loyalty platforms are boring.
Why?
And they're not very successful because loyalty as an ecosystem gets commoditized and the disruption is met with nothing after a point in time. You can easily replicate. The differentiators are hollow, unfortunately, because
Right.
the industry value set is very different.
Right.
But what she has managed to do, sitting out of the kingdom and growing a global business quietly, was shocking when I actually had a conversation with her, went through the deck and uncovered what she had actually built and how she built it. I was dumbfounded. And it's amazing she did this in stealth and almost quietly.
I remember. I remember meeting her
Impressive.
in 2020, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Around that time.
Impressive founder. Yeah.
It's been 8 years.
No. Much more recent.
No,
Merit
but
has
Merit.
only been 3-4 years. Merit's only three years old. Yes.
Yeah, you met 2020. It's 2025 right now. So.
Yeah,
Oh,
2022 maybe you met her.
2021.
Only 3 years
after
old.
COVID.
Ah.
Yeah, Saudi would have reopened after COVID. Yeah. So let's pull on that thread of companies from the region that have expanded outside the region. Are there many? And also
No, not
use that
yet.
as a theme with MFTA. You kind
Correct.
of gone from Abu Dhabi, ADGM, DIFC to now just opening or announcing the opening of the Saudi chapter. So love to hear more about that. And we
Great.
obviously got Money 2020 Saudi coming up. So
Yes.
then
Looking
this
forward to being there.
Saudi chapters opened, and then Turkey.
Yeah.
We were some of us were in
Yeah.
FinTech Week in Istanbul the other day, and you've just opened the MFTA Turkey chapter,
Yeah.
Bahrain,
Yeah.
And
Qatar. What else?
individual ones in Africa as well.
Morocco,
Egypt.
yeah.
Is
What do we miss?
So many.
Yeah, so you see, the MENA region is not just the MENA region, it's 22 markets. And the vision has always been how you create an interconnected and an innovative ecosystem.
Right.
And this is a vision since the inception
Yep.
of the MENA Fintech Association.
Yep.
When the association was being launched, on the day when the association was launched,
Yeah.
we had 22 central banks in the room. Gaurav was there as well, and many of our friends. And it did not stop there. And the regulators, the policymakers, everyone is focusing on one thing. And it's not easy to bring all these 22 markets together. And we have to play our role. We have to play our part. So the first thing was that association needs to be that neutral platform.
Yep.
Think global,
Yep.
build local. That's our DNA.
Yep.
If we are enabling, so first is UAE. We kicked off. Then we had our presence in different parts of the world. Africa. MENA Fintech Africa is covering Morocco, Tunisia, Algeria, and Egypt. Run by locals.
Right.
So the reason why we focus on these different chapters being run by the locals is because it's their ecosystem.
Yep.
They know it better than us.
Yep.
We provide them with the platform to amplify the market opportunity, but it's their ecosystem. That's the approach that we follow. Then we saw great interest from Bahrain. We had leaders, local leaders, Suzy Alzira, Tariq Matar, both running the Bahrain FinTech Bay ecosystem, coming up, listen, we need to be a part of the MENA Fintech Association and build up the MFTA Bahrain.
Right.
They did. Fantastic. Again, locals who understand the local dynamics better than any one of us.
Sure.
It's not about just us, and you all know that. It's about everyone else in the ecosystem.
That's the way it
Right?
should be.
The way you have the leadership, what is leadership? Organizational leadership, individual leadership. It's not about individual spotlight. It's not about me, it's not about you, it's not about you. It's about how we all, with what we have done today, create light and show the light for others on the path where they can actually grow as well.
Right.
That's real leadership.
I'll give you one example of this. You remember your open AI forums that we first started as the workshops, where we had our good friend from MasterCard, who was sitting out of Switzerland, I think. The German
Hakan.
And I remember Hakan.
Who's now with BIS.
Yes, he used to sit
Open
there.
finance, you mean?
Yes, Open Finance. Sorry, Open Finance
OpenAI.
Forum.
I was like,
OpenAI.
wow. What OpenAI events do you do that? You didn't invite me to Gaurav.
I'm trying to find his name. Sorry.
Hakan Eroglu.
Hakan was
Yeah.
amazing in
I
bringing.
think he got Open API and OpenAI.
Yes,
mixed
that's
up.
right. It was a good meeting of mine.
From APIs
Next
to
startup
AIs.
coming
Next
through.
The
startup.
way I had
Next
seed of
startup.
spine.
It's a good
I
thing.
remember we brought international regulation
Yeah.
on what was happening in the UK.
Yeah.
MasterCard doing things in Australia.
Correct.
And using it as guidance for how Dappy, Lean,
Correct.
Taraba, all these other people who are looking to really move into this space.
Yeah.
How to navigate it, what the legalities are, what should be done as a phase one, who is sharing information, the context of how it should be built, but what benefits both parties can have rather than trying to understand disruption for the sake of disruption.
Yeah.
And that was because of the workshops and working groups that we had started with.
No, we were
MFTA.
quite
couldn't
lucky
do
to
that. It's
have
amazing.
good leaders. So, as mentioned by you, Gaurav, thanks for highlighting it. The idea has always been that get the best talent from all over the world, the best minds,
Sure.
the best experts in the space to drive those conversations. And again, coming back to the point where we had these different countries, like in Qatar, we have Gaurav Sachdeva. In Iraq, we have Baha, chairman for Keycard, very well-connected individual. Having locals who understand the ecosystem, drive their ecosystem, and the MFTA helping amplify the market opportunity globally is our approach that we're doing. And while we did this, so you're looking at country expansions over here within the regions, within the countries, and local people driving it. Second, once this is done, we have the global expansion, where we have leaders from all over the world who are a part of the MENA Fintech Association. So it's becoming bigger and snowballing into a much bigger network all organically. The reason why is two. All eyes on the region. Second, when there's all eyes in the region, there are two things that are happening. First is incoming. We have more founders, more tech companies looking to take advantage of the economic opportunity in this region today. I call this region a gold mine. In the past 8 years, all my interviews, gold mine, gold mine, gold mine. And we just, again, I would say, scratching the surface. And it's only been, it's been proven right only.
Yeah.
Second, now we have reached that point where the majority of the tech companies within or the innovation within has become so good. Now we're looking at exporting it. I know one of our friends from Nearpay, Mohammed Aliban, expanding into US, right? I have personally, I'm on the board of a few fintechs. They've expanded into Europe lately. Payment companies headquartered here in UAE, expanding into Europe. So now we see this trend happening. With this, the association enjoys great diplomatic relationships. We have been working very closely with the ministry of, or different ministries in UAE. And all respect to His Excellency Dr. Thani Al Zayudi, Minister of Foreign Direct Investment and Trade, who's been exceptionally supportive of how the association has been operating. And this basically helps us play a very significant role when it comes to enabling bilateral relationships outside the region.
Yep.
That's why we have these different global leaders, which we will be announcing very soon, all over the world, becoming a part of that network. But all organically. That's very important to remember. All organically.
Almost come to the end of the podcast. Time has flown. You won't believe what the time is.
We could sit and keep talking fintech all night long.
I thought we just started, but the time has flown. So what's next? What's next for fintech in the region, either in the UAE or MENA? You have to give us one forecast, one prediction. And MENA Fintech Association, I mean,
What role will it play?
we're everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Where can we go now?
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
like, is Pluto, Mars?
Space
You know,
Force. We're going to be on the
Space
moon.
I was having the same conversation with one of the initial foundation setters for the association. Back in the days, he was the CEO of ADGM, Richard Tang,
Okay.
who's now the CEO of
yes.
Binance.
Richard Tang.
Yeah. Who's been so actually the
helped you a lot, right?
the ideation of the association
Setting up
started
the
with Richard, me, and Wilum, who's still in ADGM.
Yes.
That's how it started, and I still remember meeting both of them. We met in ADGM. I remember I took a bus and I took a normal bus for the RTA bus. Took me like 3 hours to reach there. We sat down and I was just amazed to see their intent at that time that we need to build this ecosystem. How do we do it? We pulled out a piece of paper, just like this, literally scribbled, on what the ecosystem should look like. Right. And that's how it all literally started.
Right.
If both of these two gentlemen would listen to it, they would smile at it and they would be like, this guy does not forget it. I've spoken about this on different TV channels everywhere.
No,
Right.
you're on an RTA bus. He's taking that still, no? No, he doesn't. No.
I would love to, by the way.
No comment.
But
No comment.
no, I would love to. I'm so proud of that.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. This makes me my character and who I am today. Whenever I'm going to Abu Dhabi, I still remember it. Whenever I see an RTA bus, I'm like, okay, brilliant. Good old days.
days.
Training days.
You gotta
Training
start-
days.
Yeah, resilience.
You
is,
gotta start from the
I mean, I'm going to share my story in that case.
Yeah.
It's
Go on.
important. In that case,
Here we
it's
go.
important.
Final word to Namir Khan and his origin story.
I think, when I started here in the
Dubai.
region,
Yeah.
when I came to Dubai, I literally started from scratch. And when I say scratch, it is literal scratch. I wasn't living in a room. Today, those rooms are banned today. With 14 people.
Partition roomed.
Yes.
Yeah.
14 people in one room. Sharing your silence and having a budget of 20 dirhams a day.
Right.
That was difficult.
I can imagine.
But the important thing is, if you know the vision of what you're building and you're focused towards it, and this is what I still have today, you continue to go towards it. The one thing that I faced when I was building the association was doubt, skepticism. Whoever I spoke to, this guy who knows no one in their country, no one in the region is going to build this association, right? And I was told no by almost everyone. I had meetings, Jonathan Gaurav. I used to fly into Dubai. I flew into Dubai for a meeting on the day to find out the meeting has been cancelled. Right? It takes a lot of blood and sweat and commitment to build something of this magnitude, and it requires commitment. Did that, but skepticism and doubt today fuels me. It is my fuel. I'm like, you want to doubt me? Please do that. It's just gonna fuel my growth more and more. Fast forward, we all are here today. Right? So the association follows the same DNA. And the amount of love and care you have to put in something you really care about, for me, MFT is not an organization. Not an organization. I was thinking about it last night. It's not an organization for me anymore. It's a family. And when something is like your family, you invest your time, your effort, you care about it. That's what I've done. And that's what we all do together.
So now we know what Namir Khan does at 2 a.m.
So
He lies awake thinking about you,
And
Gaurav.
Podcast planning.
see, so that was has been the DNA of the association for all of us who are contributing towards it today.
Yeah.
But it's not about us today.
Sure.
None of us, right?
Correct.
The association today, when you ask what's next, yes, we will talk about the buzzy stuff. We talk about the programmable money and the focus towards that. What's next is association further enabling more leaders, paving the path with light for other upcoming stars,
Yeah.
individuals, youngsters who need that guiding light. That is a role that we will play. Why? Now, we have discussed artificial intelligence numerous times in depth with you. You're the expert in that, right?
Oh, it's more Abdul Ali, but...
We have spoken about talent so much. We have spoken about, and we all are cautious what's going to happen about the talent in the next couple of years. We all are cautious about it.
Yeah.
Important for all of us in the association is to spend more time educating, building, a path for these youngsters to be able to learn, adapt, pivot quick so that they have a sustainable future ahead of them.
Yeah.
We have to enable leaders. It's our responsibility. And leaders could be any age. A leader doesn't have to be, 30-year-old or 40-year-old guy or a woman, right? It doesn't have to be. It can be any youngster starting from the ages of 17, 16, right? We got to give them early access, engage them. So the association will be focusing a lot more on the academic side. Academic is a very strong focus. Then we have certain streams. We're looking at AI, we're looking at blockchain, we're looking at sustainability. These are those core pillars that will enable further. I mean, these are the three things: AI, blockchain, and sustainability. These are three things that will impact every single sector. And of course, financial services. So for us, this is going to be a strong area of focus. And luckily, we have you in most of them.
ABS. Yeah. On that note, Gaurav, we should probably bring this to a close.
I think
Our
we should.
Final
I like the
episode-
ABS word, by the way.
Yeah.
ABS.
Final episode
Season
of this
finale.
season finale.
Yeah.
So you dived into
Yeah.
fintech in the region, past, present,
The
and
building
future.
blocks of fintech in the region, past, present, and future.
Namir Khan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was a great conversation and such a candid one. So
Always.
I enjoy it.
Always a pleasure.
Until the next season.
Thank you.
Yes.